So I'm just out here walking the dog, and upon listening to sermons, I heard the scripture saying that all authority on heaven and earth has been given to you, so go out and make disciples. So when I heard that, that made me think about like just the whole basis of there being a good and evil, like that if there's a deceiver, why would they want to deceive? Because this was something I commonly hear from like people of the world, people who haven't come to know God yet. It's really hard for the natural mind to perceive. But if you just try like to erase everything else, that might be making you skeptical, and try to look at everything through that lens that there's good and evil. So that's the reason, because people in the world, like if the world explains things to them, they believe everything. But remember, that's the whole idea. If there's the deceiver, what the world is explaining to you is a deception of some sort. Like that's the whole point. And why? It goes right back to one, remembering that there's good and evil. And why would a deceiver wish to deceive you? It's that scripture that I literally just said, the very first part of that scripture I just said, because all authority has been given to you. So the only chance that the kingdom of darkness, the only chance that evil would have to take reign and control over you is if you never come to the knowledge of that fact, of that scripture. So obviously this deception is going to be fierce. It's going to be heavy because he's toast, essentially. Like the kingdom of darkness will not stand there. Toast. Like the kingdom of darkness has already been defeated, but only to those who believe. Otherwise, you're fair game. Because it was. Anyway, sorry, dogs for barking, scared the crap out of me. But anyways, it's Jesus is the one who has defeated the kingdom of darkness, who has defeated this world. So that's why it's through him, it's through your belief in him, that you also have defeated this world. You also have overcome. Therefore, that same authority that Jesus demonstrated, like when he was here on earth, he then gave to us, like to go out into the world and do the same thing until the end. But if not through Jesus, that's why the deception is working the way that it is, because it doesn't want you to know. Because if you know that the authority actually belongs to you, then they're disarmed. Like there's nothing that evil can't control you, evil can't conquer you, evil can't overcome. But it can, so long as you don't know that it's already been defeated. Like we're not still trying to defeat evil right now. It's already been defeated. It's just we're in time. Like so, there's a appointed amount of time that the world is going to persist until judgment comes. So, and that's for us. It's not because like evil has already been judged. That's why there's such thing as hell. That's why there's such thing because that was for wickedness. That was for the angels and Satan, like those who have rebelled. Like they were already judged. They already know what their judgment is, their destiny is. Rather, it's for people. Now, it's for those who are in time, like until time runs out, to see which choice that we're going to make, essentially, like which kingdom are we going to choose. So we see as many people as possible during time are to be collected, like to join the world, like the new earth, the new world. When this one perishes, ultimately it's going to be judged, like the evil that made the world fallen to begin with, like it is judged, it's already been judged, so that will happen at the appointed time, and then everything that followed suit is given the same judgment. So then you can see why Satan would want, it's just like the original sin, like the original fall. Like he understands the penalty for sin. He understands it because he has it. He's under it right now. So in a fury, he's trying to get as many people as possible to go down, with him. But yeah, just hearing that scripture, like that made me think, that's the key. That's it. Like, if you could think, like I said, it's hard. I talk to worldly people, all the time in my own family, that it's hard for them to perceive. Like when you say things, like they think that it's like, oh, that's a conspiracy, or, They believe absolutely everything that they hear, like in the world, because like it says in the scripture, the people from the world, they easily understand and receive the world. But when they hear any sort of spiritual truth, they can't understand it. So that's a common thing when you talk about any sort of deception, like they don't understand it. They're like, oh, why? What is the benefit? Why would anybody want to be deceiving you through X, Y, and Z? And that's it. Like if you can put in to the way that you're viewing things, put in your lenses the basis of that there's good and evil, like you'll start to be able to see clearly like where there would be deception and why. Like I said, it's all because of that little key right there that you've been given the authority. So it's detrimental, like if you were ever to come to that knowledge, then like I said, it's game over. There's nothing else, like disarmed completely. So you can see why deception is heavy. It's severe. Like it's there's no chance. Like we have zero chance outside of revelation and God. Like you need God. You have no chance like otherwise. But that's the whole thing. Like even though it seems the power, like it seems severe, it seems heavy. Like who could combat it? It seems impossible. But you see, this is what adds to the fury, is that us being so weak, so fragile, like so finite, like, you know, even like despite all of that, we are still the ones who have overwhelming victory. We're still the ones like who have all of the authority. Like, so what you say is what is. Like, so even though like these like spiritual darkness and stuff, they're more powerful than you, like, you know, but just by nature. But it's when we are partnered with God, like when we have God's spirit like in us, that it's over, you know, like victory is already, like judgment has already been decided, victory has already happened. Like that's why everything is under subjection to the authority of Jesus. But yeah, I think you get the point. Wait, I know you get it, but I just thought of one more thing. On that note, when I was talking about why like we're still in time and that people have a choice like to pick what they're going to serve, basically. You're going to choose the kingdom of light or the kingdom of darkness. So in this way, like when the new world comes, the people that will occupy, that will fill the new world will be, everybody is there by choice. Essentially, like everybody chose their kingdom, everybody fought the battle. You know, it's not an easy thing. Living in a world of darkness, like when you have come to know the truth, like expect warfare, expect mockery and all the things, you know, like the Bible tells us is going to happen. But that's the whole point, is like when the new world comes and the old one perishes, it's going to be filled with all of those who chose God, you know. So a repeat of what happened the first time will never happen again, because we all already had our free will, and it's going to be occupied by all of those who chose freely to be a part of this kingdom, and those who didn't want to be will not be.